Rooted and Rising family, welcome in, welcome in. Let's take a deep breath. I just love it. I don't know why that just makes me so giddy. All right, let's ring the sound bowl. Let's ring the sound bowl. So pretty. Oh, all right. Okay. All right. All right. Yes, you hear Marco's energy. He is over there being a dog. Doing what he's doing. Let me adjust this like that. Waiting for him to get done. I don't know. Sometimes you can hear clearly what he's doing, but he's, I don't know, just making weird noises. I don't know if he's clearing his sinuses. Oh, wow. I was just getting this out of the way. Tarot deck is Ethereal Visions, the Luna Editions Tarot. Looks like we got a bit of heartache. That's a Three of Swords. Little heartache, little heartbreak, little pain going on. Rooted and Rising on the bottom deck. Yes, that is my child. Making his presence known, apparently. And I wasn't going to start with the tarot deck, but I'm thinking I'm going to. We're going to play around with the Dead Inside Oracle deck as well. Love it. And I guess it's fitting since the bottom of this deck is a Three of Swords. Oh, I'm not happy about it. Trust me. Trust me, I have had my share of heartache and pain. All right. Should I pull that one or not? All right. Three of Swords. Pain, suffering, little heartache, little pain. And we know past readings for the Rooted and Rising Collective, we have gotten some, messages with some problems and issues or just some things in circumstances, with connections and past connections, and maybe connections that are ending but not quite ended and things like that. All right, so of course I don't delight in seeing that. And it may be some other situations or circumstances that, maybe the divine or the spirit wants to, highlight, things like this aren't highlighted just to, poke the wound. But a lot of times, sometimes it has to come up to come out so that you can heal, even though it does not feel the best. Does not feel the best at all. All right, so preaching to the choir. All right. I'm not saying that I am outside of the situation either. So we'll leave that there for now. Disclaimers, because I almost forgot that this is a collective reading. All right, so we'll take what resonates, we'll leave what does not. Everything is not for everybody, right? Some things may still be unfolding, right? So it may not be relevant right now. Doesn't mean it won't be relevant later. Timeless message. It means when you see it, whether you see it today, tomorrow, next year, timeless. That means that's when it was meant for you to hear, right? Otherwise, if it does not resonate, sometimes it's just words of wisdom. Sometimes it's just entertainment and you just like to be in my energy. Whatever it is for you, it's okay. All right. But it is a collective reading, means collective energies. All right. Are pulled upon to read a collective message as a whole. In tarot, oracle decks, there is no male, female. There is masculine energies. There is feminine energies. It is up to you to place yourself, your divine connection, or whatever connection you got going on, whatever scenario you believe whatever is being said applies to you. It's up to you to assign gender. All right, my preference is male, so I'll speak that way, male, female, because that's my preference, but that's not me telling you that that's what it is for you, and that's what yours should be. All right, you pair your pairings however you pair it. Okay. All right, so let's get started. Again, looks like highlighted right now, I guess from the start, is the Three of Swords. So we have a bit of pain. All right, a bit of going through some things. All right, Three of Swords can speak of heartache when it comes to connections. But, and I will be multitasking, you already know that. But we can also speak of situations. You know, unfortunately, once again, heartbreak is the Three of Swords, emotional pain, grief, separation. So it isn't always due to like relationships, you know, it could be grief of sort of mourning, disappointments, even wounds that are emotional need to be healed. Sometimes we don't even know we have these wounds and it pops up. If you're anything like me, where you have no time to process anything that ever goes wrong in your life, and then one day you're like, you know, where is all these emotions coming from? You know, that can represent the Three of Swords. All right, things like that, okay? Betrayal, which we know rooted in rising has had a lot of betrayal energy, you know, around them. Things like that, you know, breakups, separations, betrayals, griefs. That's what our heartache, our Three of Swords can highlight or signify. But let's do another card. I wasn't going to start off with the tarot, but apparently we are. Yeah, apparently we are. Okay, so death is what we got next. And it's the the death card in the tarot is not, I mean, getting this card is not as bad as it may sound. All right, I just want to see what's on the bottom of the artist. Okay, it's not as bad as it may sound. Yeah, it signifies, and that probably highlights where this Three of Swords is coming from. It may just be going into sequence. Okay, so I'm not having the death in the tarot card in the deck facing you. It's grim because it's death. Excuse me. But anyway, signifies a transition. All right, something ended, so something can begin, transitioning out. All right, or transitioning to something else, something new, or transitioning from heartache, from pain, since this is the first card. All right, so this could signify some type of disappointment, some type of separation, breakup, whatever that looks like relationally for you. All right, can even be mourning or grief if you've lost a loved one. All right, and you know, death is an ending, even if you're mourning losing a loved one, but it's also a beginning, right? So something ends. It means there's a beginning afterwards. So a lot of times it's also signifying transition as well. All right. And let's see what we get in our next card to kind of see. To try to see more so this is, you know, more of a transition. You know, kind of way due to the whatever this is signifying for you. All right, or something else. All right, either way it goes, something ended so something can begin. All right, endings don't just end with no new beginning. Okay, so the death card in the tarot, I'm assuming signifies some sort of transition away from, or transition from whatever this situation is. All right. All right. But again, it's not bad because it does create a space for a new beginning. All right. It doesn't just leave you there. My grandma, where's the tarot deck? All right. It can even do like, you know, yeah. Well, rebirth is kind of like a transition. It can even be a rebirth. All right. Like a new life, new start, rebirth. If something no longer, or something or someone no longer serves you, it's fulfilled a purpose. It can also signify, death can also signify that. All right. All right, but mostly closing a chapter out, something can begin, transitioning, rebirth, if you like that way. If you have yourself evolved, We spoke of that maybe last reading, ascending and going higher in yourself. You know, that would have a painful, you know, it might have came with some heartache, with some pain, or a sense of mourning or something like that. But it's still transitioning into something different, something more fitting, something better, something that can meet you where you are now, if that makes sense. So let's see what we get after that. 2 cards at once. Okay. Tell me how you really feel. Okay. Okay. So both came out at the same time. The Hierophant. I can see, because I know these cards kind of have a glare. The Hierophant is about like order, a structure or a protocol to things, way things are supposed to be, the social norms, think like religious type fulfillments, those things, how things are supposed to be, norms, obligations. All right, can also signify something official like marriages and things like that. Doesn't mean rooted in rising that you had to be literally married. All right, but it's a structure. All right, it's a social norm. All right. Also, after, we'll clarify as well. I don't want to laugh or say that, but you know, I got some things going on and the wheels turning, but I'm like, oh, okay. That's the 10 of Cups that came out with the Hierophant. All right, that's like ultimate joy, ultimate happiness, ultimate. Before the 10 of Cups comes is the 9 of Cups, which is like wish fulfillment. All right, so say you are into somebody and you're thinking about them, and they're like, you think about them, they're my wishes fulfilled, right? That's how I think of them, as wish fulfillment. All right. Well, 10 of Cups means that wish has been fulfilled. And it's like ultimate joy, ultimate happiness, living your best life. All right. At peace. Everything is wonderful. All right. The pinnacle of absolute joy. All right. All right. Now, me making that face because the Hierophant came before it. But before that came the 3 of Swords in the deck card. All right. What signifies there was an ending in a structure. Not necessarily a marriage for those who weren't married. Those who are married, marriage. So that's a separation, a divorce. Those who are not. And if you have children with the other person, that's something that would create a structure. All right. It would create a role, if that makes sense. That would create a role that's whether they're fulfilling the role adequately or not. All right, and I say that, you know, not judging, from my own experience. All right, if I pull tarot on myself, asking questions about my situation, right, and I get the Hierophant and I'm not married, it's talking about, because even the Emperor will come out for me at times, you know, my own personal things, and I'm not married, but there is a structure, all right, or a role that is filled or supposed to be filled by someone else, whether they do that role or not. It's just signifying the role the person is in, all right? So for those who have a structure or a role, so if you got the, you know, baby daddy, baby mama energy, the Hierophant will call that a structure or a role, because it's a household that one plays in one place. All right, it's a structure. Okay, all right, that's what I mean. All right, they're not talking. If y'all not getting along and stuff, it's not saying that that's your emperor. It's just saying that that's the role that they fill, whether they do it right or not, whether they're in reverse, whether they're really stepping into it. And if, since the 3 of Swords and then Death came and says no, or there was just some disagreement into you, they may be fine in that area, because some people are mature, can get along for the sake of children, and others just either never were mature, or because the structure between the 2 adults have broken, it affects the children, and then take it out on the children. Yes, it does happen. We all know that. All right, been there, done that. But anyway, so Hierophant, again, a structure. So this is likely a separation or a divorce. If you never were married, that means usually it means that you probably even were something committed or living together, something that obligated you to somebody else. All right. Some people move in together and have bills together and have a home and everything together, whether they formally got married or not. That's a structure. Some people have children together. Again, that's a structure. All right. Something with that structure has ended. It's like a transition away. All right. So there's heartache, separation, there's pain, turmoil. Death says something ended, but it also speaks of transformation and rebirth. All right, closing a chapter, a new one beginning. You didn't stay there. Obviously you didn't if you ended up with the Ten of Cups.
Hey,
and then
you've got a text message.
Then the Hierophant is saying that what you're transitioning away from with this heartache and pain is a structure. All right, whether that structure is marriage, again, some sort of separation, whatever structure you're transitioning from, you're transitioning into ultimate joy, the Ten of Cups. All right, give me a moment. All right, we were at the Ten of Cups. Okay, little pause. Regrouping. Marco's over there upset. But I was concerned too because I think he's leaning on the door. I'm not 100% sure. But you know, the door made a little creak. And I'm by myself, so I'm like, how is my door opening? And then he got up and started growling. So, but I think he's the actual cause of it. Let's hope. If I don't look, nothing will be there. I'm just kidding, but not, right? All right, anyway, Ten of Cups. Yes, emotional fulfillment. So after after the Three of Swords, so this disappointment, this heartache, this pain, maybe some sort of loss and going through some sort of loss or separation, or some of you may be mourning, actual loss or an actual this. All right. After that, and it's connecting it. So some of you may be an actual loss, but since this Hierophant came out, I'm thinking it's more of a type of connection. And again, like I stated, we went through the different types. It doesn't necessarily mean that you went and got legally married. But what was I saying? Yeah. Three of Swords. Hey, that got me all like, wait. All right, Three of Swords into the death. It's still a transition on into, something new beginning, a new you. Maybe you've glowed up, which you have. Ascending means you've glowed up, right? But whatever it is about this may not feel great, like rainbows and sprinkles. But it's transitioning you on from this Hierophant structure, from this formal structure, situationship. It doesn't mean because if you were married, it wasn't a situationship. If it was toxic, if honestly you connected with someone that wasn't really who you thought they were when you connected with it. We listen and we don't judge, right? That's an old trend, right? Same thing. And hopefully you didn't have children with them. You're stuck for life. Not always. I'm sorry. I gotta try to be laugh to keep from crying. That is truly me. So that's not me poking fun at anybody going through anything, all right? Honestly, you'll know how much pain I am by how much I smile. But anyway, that's a sad truth, but it's a truth. Hierophant, again, is making it more like a type of relationship, all right, that you're transitioning from. The transition is transitioning from the pain of losing that connection, whether you got along or not. All right. I love my child with my all and my everything. Now, the one that helped me create him, it's a different story. All right. It doesn't mean that I hate, but I may not have the purest of feelings. All right. It doesn't mean that when separation occurs, it doesn't hurt. It's still an emotional loss. All right. It's still pain and loss. All right. And you still mourn that. like a loss. You really do. All right. Again, whether you felt the best for that other person or not. Some of you, again, are very mature and can be very amicable, right, with one another. I'm not laughing at that, but my God, that sounds so refreshing. People who can be that way. All right. It's still a loss, but you're transitioning from that. It doesn't stay there. You're moving on from that. You're figuring out how to do life now that is over. You're transitioning. All right. You've ascended past that. You've glowed up. Whatever this situation was for rooted and rising, for divine feminine, divine masculine. All right. It's to grow you anyway. All right. You don't stay there. You keep moving. You move higher. You're supposed to learn from that, get wisdom from that, grow from that, then stay away from that or anything or anyone like that. Because discernment was supposed to really kick in and be higher now that you've learned, all right? Yeah. All right, but you don't stay there. And Rooted and Rising Collective would not. Divine feminine, divine masculine, empresses, emperors. You don't stay there. All right. Death doesn't mean it ends and it stays. Beginnings happen after death and you transition. You're transitioning away from this Hierophant situation. All right. Into the Ten of Cups. Like I said, emotional fulfillment. All right. Lasting happiness, family harmony. This is deep love and affection. Our cups has to do with emotions. All right. Remember, that's our water, emotions. So peace, even after challenges, ultimate peace. Supportive connections and relationships. All right. Share dreams in your connections and relationships. All right. A sense of belonging, contentment. All right. Ultimate, the pinnacle of happiness. This is even if you're talking about your divine connections and pairings. All right. That usually kind of come after things like this. This is long-term commitment. All right. Emotional compatibility is what you're moving into, right? A relationship that is peaceful, not chaotic, not bringing you heartache. Even feeling emotionally at home with someone, safe and secure. All right. You're transitioning into this. So it doesn't stay in the Three of Swords. See all those swords going through the heart? It does not stay there. How painful that is. All right. It doesn't stay there. So you weren't meant to stay there. All right, this ended. Heartache is ending because you closed whatever kind of chapter this was with the Hierophant situation. And you said no more. Even if you got children with them, you said you set boundaries. And that's for people who have, the other parent that's actually in the child's life, the other parent ain't around, Well, I shouldn't say that because you still have to set boundaries with some. Because a lot of them that don't want to be around for the children want to be around for something else. All right. They want to be they want to be no strings attached for life because you had a baby with them. So, all right. So boundaries and saying no to the wands, right? And so you can move on into Ten of Cups. Again, harmony, building with somebody you're emotionally compatible with. All right. That's ultimately where you're leading, where you're going, where you're transitioning to. All right. Because this situation was supposed to teach you, grow you, allow you to ascend, as in you knowing what situations you don't want. You don't want another situationship with a toxic person that's selfish, narcissist, only thinks of themselves, right? Only throwing examples out there. All right. You don't want incompatibility. You don't want a burden or a load, always fighting with this person. You don't want a bunch of jealous energy. All right. You want to grow and build. All right. Ten of Cups, ultimate fulfillment, ultimate happiness and joy, peace and love and harmony. All right. Where you do disagree, but even in your disagreements, all right, there's still joy and it's filled with love. All right. Not shame in being humiliated or feeling stupid, all right, or someone just being spiteful to you, being nasty for the sake of it. I didn't get my way, I'll be nasty with you today. In your disagreements, even there is Ten of Cups energy, even though there's even harmony in that, because your divine feminine, divine masculine, how you pair yourselves, You know what I mean? They want to get past it. They want to talk to you. All right? They want you to say what it is, and so they can know. And they want to say what it is, and they want to come to some kind of conclusion. They don't want to tear you down, and you don't want to tear them down. All right? Nobody's doing any of the tearing downs, because you can't grow and build that way. All right? And why would you want to do that to someone's emotions anyway? All right? Especially, I'm saying women, because I'm a woman. You know, we can't keep tearing those that are into men, the men down, and then thinking that they're going to go be men for us. All right? That's not going to happen. All right? This is not me excusing any behaviors that are not the best that some men tend to have. All right? But I am saying, women's sake, we can't tear down the men and expect them to go be men. That's not going to happen. All right? But with divine connections in your partnership and being compatible, even in your disagreements, all right? You're compatible in your disagreements. It doesn't mean you agree, but you know how to get past it. If you don't know how to get past it, you're going to learn how to get past it. All right? And then you have a connection with someone who actually cares enough to actually learn you. All right? Do they need space right now? Let me give them space. They are not the type of person that will give you answers right now. All right? As if you're going to tell me now, we're going to talk about it. If you don't have that kind of energy, or, you know, if you didn't partner with that kind of person, that's going to push them away. All right? If they need space to think, to figure it out, to go in hermit mode, because that's about having a spiritual awakening. You're going off to really think things through, to come out with a resolution and come out with what they want, what they need, or whatever the issue is, how to solve it. Then you're going to have to give them their space, and you should respect it. All right? Even though if you're a person that likes to talk and talk now, you know, then they would have some kind of understanding. Like, I do understand that you like your answers now. All right? Not in a placating way. All right? However, I honestly can't give you an answer right now. All right? And you all have to learn, especially if you're yin and the yang. If you're very different, you're going to have to learn how to maneuver. You know, is that going to upset a person who's very, let's do this now? Yes. All right? And if you're, let's do this now, and your other person is like, whoa, 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 whoa. Slow it down. Is all that going to do that? Yeah. Yeah. Look at me, story time. I am laughing. I was at work one time. And this was back when I used to do like nursing. At one point I was going to go be a nurse, you know. I even went to nursing school for a little bit. I got long story short, you know, I got sick and stuff, so I couldn't, like, you know, sick in a way. Like, I couldn't, a lot of things would just make me pass out. You know, I would just pass out. I used to do that at work, so I just couldn't finish, in a sense. But anyway, the story... I mean, that's not dismissive. I'm just saying anyway, because I don't want to make it long, I don't want to make it so long. Anyway, I'm just giving you different on energies, okay? At work, and I got assigned to work in a area that I normally don't work in, all right? And I was upset. And I was like, no, I normally don't work in this area. I don't know these residents. I don't really know them that well. I don't know what they can and cannot do, what they eat and don't eat. I don't know what special things are on. Yeah, we can go look in the charts and stuff like that. Great. But it's different when you typically work an area, you know the area. Well, another of my coworkers, they typically work that area, they prefer it. So we said, okay, let's switch. Which usually is not a problem. All right. But director of nursing, you know, she wanted to be a big old bitch that day. I'm just going to say what it is, you know. And she runs things. Can't do the simplest of shit, but, you know, she runs stuff. She runs sitting on her ass all day telling you what to do. All right? That's what she went and got. Look, all of the DONs were mad by Pat Phil. They were like, this bitch. I'm just telling you the truth. They do that paperwork and sit on their ass so they can tell you what to do. That's what they went and got their degree for, though. But anyway, we switched. Usually it's not a problem, but she decided that day it was going to be a problem. You know, so she went and said, where are you supposed to be? I said, okay, well, I know I was assigned there. Me and so decided to switch because she knows them. So she can work with them better. All right. And I know this area over here. And she didn't have an issue. She's like, well, you just can't convince people. two grown people. I don't know how I didn't convince anybody anything. She doesn't have an issue switching. We switched. So she had to let me know in a nice, not so nice way that she's the one running things. And she assigned people where she assigned people. And that's where we were going to work. And she is tired of people switching. All right? And it's not happening on her watch today. So you get over there where I told you to work and work. And me, in my days of youth, I am still an empress. What is that bitch are you talking to? I didn't say it that way. I let her know that, hey, if I already know this area, why not just let me do this area? I don't know these people over here. And I typically won't be assigned over here. Typically I won't, She did the schedule, I guess, that day. But typically I would not be assigned over here. And I don't work over here. Why not just allow it if she doesn't mind it? Okay. She just, put me in my place, let me know that she is who she is. And you gonna get over there and work. And I let her know. I will get over there and work, but I'm gonna let you know that don't make no sense at all whatsoever that you would sit there and do that. You won't put them at risk just because you want to prove you, because she ain't gonna send me home. Who gonna work? Who gonna do it? She gonna walk a hallway? No. So you ain't gonna send me home. But anyway, we had some work, to put it that way. And I'm laughing because my coworker, he was a male coworker. I'm very like, look, you go. And she walked away. And I had some other words, and he was just like, okay, Tiffany, trying to tell me, right, about the trying to calm it down and tell me about, what we would need to do, because I don't know these people. And I'm going off, I'm like, that, she was gone. I'm like, that dumb bitch. You just gonna put everybody at jeopardy because you just want to, I'm larger than charge today. I was just going off on him. He's like, okay, Tiffany, calm it down. All right. I'm very, and he's very, all right. I said, no, this don't make no goddamn sense. I'm tired of this shit. Got to work all goddamn day. I'm just going off. And this is his version of, bitch, who are you talking to? Because I'm yelling at him. He didn't do nothing. He goes, Tiffany, you're at a 10. I'm going to need you at a 4. I have no idea. He caught me so off guard with that calmness. I was like, what? He said, yeah, you're at a 10 here. I'm going to need you at a 4. I said, okay. All right. See, that's the energy. Fire. And he just put it out with some water. All right. I'm going to need you at a 4. That's not his style. Look, we ain't doing this. I guess he said it. Bitch, you ain't going to keep yelling at me. He says, I'm going to help you. I know this area, and I understand, and I'm going to help you. See, that's the yin and the yang. That's you all. Divine feminine, divine masculine. You got to work with it, all right? He didn't try to outmatch me, out-yell me. He wouldn't have anyway. He wouldn't have did it. I guarantee you, if he'd have matched my energy, I would have matched his, even though he didn't do nothing wrong. Which was his point. Because he was like, now, that's my way of saying, bitch, calm down. I'm not calling myself a bitch, but I'm saying, his face was very like, okay, now, I didn't let you go on a little bit. You yelling at me. I didn't do anything. He said, yeah, I'm going to need you at a 4. All right. He didn't yell. He just said that. And I was so taken aback. I said, okay. And we worked it out. All right. Yin and the yang. All right. One was, I want answers now. He's like, no, I'm going to need you to bring that to a 4. I can't give you answers right now. All right. You're going to have to respect space. That's what the 10 of Cups will look like in a disagreement, potentially, right? You're still working with an energy that cares about your well-being. It's not just about movement. They care about you. All right. So they're not going to want to tear you down just to win the argument. All right. And likewise to them. All right. I'm going to pull one more from this tarot, and then we'll go on to what we were going to do today, which was pull from this. I don't even know if we should use this here deck anymore, this oracle deck, because it's well, yeah. Yeah. Okay. Uh-oh. My hand and my finger then flipped a card over from this deck over here. Maybe I shouldn't. This is from the What's Gossip Oracle deck, and my finger just flicked this up. I was trying to move this other deck, this black deck, away from the this actual deck, and this card flipped out. Déjà vu, repeating patterns, familiar lessons, unresolved issues. We've been here before. Oh my God! Don't tell me somebody wants to go learn another lesson. I'm going to clarify that with the tarot card really quick. And I'm hoping for you, reading and rising, it's not that you just wanted to go repeat somebody. I might repeat something, but I said somebody, so I'm not going to take that as an accident. I hope you don't want to do a repeat. I hope it's not you wanting to jump back on in there after somebody done showed you who they really are. I hope you don't want them to show you again. But we'll see. I really hope not. I honestly do. They showed you once. They've been showing you. How many times you gonna want them to show you? All right. Oh, look. I don't want to do it. I'm like, whoa. Oh, all right. This bottom of this oracle deck. Shadow work tomorrow, maybe. Resistance, spiritual procrastination. Shadow work is when you work on yourself. You got a lot of the things of your in yourself that needs to be worked on internally. Dark things, not like dark as in like evil, but you know, those things that you need to work on your actual self. All right. Maybe you have habits or something you need to break. Maybe you need to let go of something, someone. All right, you don't want to do the shadow work, or you're just it's not that you don't want to. The resistance is, it's hard. And if you got a lot of pressure, there's that. All right. Well, let's see what this deja vu. I was hoping I didn't want to do nothing like this today. All right, deja vu, repeating patterns, familiar lessons. What is this shadow work tomorrow maybe about? Let's see. You know, that when you have to, because I'm thinking it's not a nice energy or something. All right, let's see what deja vu is about. Let me look at this deck real quick and we'll look at tarot. I'm doing it. Oh, Jesus. Secret affair. What y'all got going on? They thought they could hide it, but whispers are growing louder. Affairs rarely stay hidden forever. I'm asking about this deja vu, repeating patterns, familiar lessons, unresolved issues. We've been here before. Secret affair popped out. Let's see what that's about. We'll get another couple ones, and we'll maybe clarify that with the tarot. What y'all got going on, reading the horizon? Somebody having an affair? Sneaking and linking. Let's see. Okay, hold on. Let's see what this is about. This deja vu, repeating patterns. Okay. Let me see one more card for you. Oh, that's what it's about. Oh, I don't think this is you. I mean, I think the affair is you. I mean, I'll clarify that in a minute. I'm like, wait. I mean, hold on. That was itching. Okay. What is this about? I don't want to flip out. I was like, no. Oh, God. Okay, I'm doing it because it tried to come out and I tried to stuff it back in. Oh, that's what it is. Oh, it's you, but it ain't you. Situationship. That's what y'all transitioning away from. I mean, you heard what I said though. All right. Give me a tarot card. Let me see. Oh, the Emperor's at the bottom. It's the Emperor. Oh, yeah. All right. It's the Emperor. Let me tell you, Emperors, masculine energies, whatever role aligns with you, right? Masculine energies, whatever. Oh, that's what it is. Oh, King of Swords. That's what it is. All right, this deja vu is not about like you all not learning your lesson. And I'm gonna say myself too. I'm not exempt. You know, plenty of times I done went back to people who I, should have never even been with in the first place. All right, so it's not you all then went back and y'all didn't learn your lessons. And I'm perfect. No. Gosh, no. All right. Wish I'd have learned or discerned a lot better. But some people are very good at putting on masks. How do you think I ended up with a baby? Yeah. All right, deja vu. Repeating patterns, feel your lessons, unresolved issues. We've been here before. That is about the secret affair. Not saying that you all are having a secret affair. All right. Some people, delulu be delulu-ing. Okay. But there seems to be another person. Since 2 highly masculine cards came up, I'm going to say this has to do with the divine masculine or the divine feminine. Only because this card that I tried to throw back in the deck said, here I am. You will not ignore me. I am here. All right. I'm not saying a result of, but maybe a speculation of. Not a result of, not necessarily. I'm not judging rooted in rising. But the deja vu is not repeating a pattern like this is a serial cheater. Some of y'all might have that going on. All right. Or this is you going back to an ex or whatever lesson and not learning. Deja vu is we've been here before. All right. Unresolved issues. Mostly the unresolved issues because this. All right. The unresolved issues that we've been here before. That's how you feel rooted in rising. All right. Again, it doesn't always mean literal, baby, but it may be something that you're expecting or looking forward to. It may be like, okay, maybe a literal expecting, but again, news or something that brings something, whether it brings opportunity, all right, whether it brings wealth or finances. All right. There's something that you're expecting, something that you're working on. Y'all are working on something you already put out there. Something you already are doing, all right, that would put you in expectation for some sort of news. Yes, because this isn't going to like that. All right, drama queen is not going to like that, especially if in her mind you're having this. All right, but I said her mind. I said delusions, or delulus be delusional, however you say that. All right, because this already says there's already loss here. It's already ended. All right. You've transitioned away from this structure. So that's what I'm saying. It doesn't mean that you're having an affair. It just means that this is pissed off. All right. And we'll call it that, especially if it means justifying something in that other person. Okay. Y'all got, I don't know what to say. Y'all got some past energy. This looks like rooted in rising that just ain't. I'm sorry, I got to say it. I mean you kind of want energy be working with here. Because this ain't let go. It must be good. I don't know. What kind of cookies got? Because the cookie and the wine must be good. Because this is not letting go. right? Past readings will show, victory and success in, conquering the issue. So conquering, which it shows here, that this union ended. All right. So whatever rooted and rising is receiving justice for, that somebody in betrayal energy may have tried to take or hold on to, that's successful. But the Lulus still pissed. All right. If you, and I'm saying if because not always, but rooted and rising seems to, again, you be builders, growers, successful. So there's something that Drama Queen still needs you for, or needed you for, because obviously all that betrayal energy, for most of it, had to do with not even infidelity, money, but even the infidelity still had something to do with money. All right. So yeah, it may have ended on paper, but in the mind of this, it is not. And this doesn't mean that this is not a male. All right. It doesn't mean it can't be masculine energy. This is just signifying a past connection, as we've been here before, deja vu. So whatever drama has been stirred up, deja vu is like, here this shit is again. All right. All right. As in, this heifer won't just sit down somewhere, or this Negro won't get a clue. I'm just using those words. It don't mean that everybody's. All right. It doesn't. I'm not talking about nationalities. Seriously, just take it how I'm saying it. Okay. All right. And the resolution will be, there's some affair going on because this is here. Or there's still this going on because this is here. It's not a literal baby, but, all right, success is on the calendar. You've been working on something. News and came in, you're expecting. All right. This doesn't like that. All right. Let's get another card from this deck because I didn't use this deck too often. All right. What else is this about? Oh yeah, I forgot about the Emperor and the King of Swords. Oh yeah, and part of the problem is the I don't want this to go out. Okay. Well, I don't want this to what's it called? Timeout. All right. Can you see it? King of Swords. All right. Let me back it up some. The King of Swords. All right. So part of the y'all are in hustle mode. So this is the problem. That's what y'all in right now. Hustle mode. Y'all working hard on that thing. Y'all working hard. All right, for some of you where this is still unfolding, all right, you're wrapping up, tighten up, loose ends. All right. And again, y'all are in that expansive energy. That expansive energy, that's 3 of Wands. That's expecting. You set it out there. You planned, you put things, you had a plan to look forward in the 2 of Wands. You were looking out into the horizon, thinking about what you wanted to do, where you wanted to go. How do I put it in motion? You were forming that business plan. You were doing it. 3 of Wands, you set it out there. Y'all are in hustle mode. Setting out there is you're still working, but you're still working and expecting. All right. But also it could be literally expecting a child in both. All right. Or just hustle mode. All right. King of Swords. That's what this drama queen is pissed off about, mostly. All right. Sword energy is that air energy and conflict, communication, things like that. Discernment, truth. He's also known in some creative tarot decks as the Ice King. All right. Because he's very analytical, no emotions. I said X, Y, and Z. All right. Truth, yes. Integrity, fairness. Strategic in the thinking. It is Swords is about the mental, the mind, the thinking. All right. So more intellectual authority, ruling from that. No emotions. Very sound judgment, discernment, discipline, right? Clear communication. Logic over emotion. I'm laughing with clear communications because this type of communication sometimes will hurt your feelings. All right. They don't care about this energy. King of Swords, even Queen of Swords. They don't care about if what they say hurts your feelings. Okay. That means the way they speak to this, if at all, it's like that. All right. Very emotionally detached, kind of cold. No emotions there. This does not like that. All right. When dealing with it. All right. That is part of the drama. All right. Part of the deja vu. Here we go with this bullshit again. That deja vu is this, is drama. Like, here we go. So it might have subsided, whatever it is, it might have subsided for a while. And then it's whatever issue this, whether there is literally an expecting a child with whoever she thinks is going on with this. But if you're, this is ended, so this can't be an affair. You've moved on, basically, and she's pissed off. And the result of that is this. Or once again, you still moved on. You have both a physical baby you're expecting, and since we're the hustle mode, there may be some news. All right. Since a lot of this betrayal energy had to do with money, you may have some news that that's in regard to something that will increase your wealth or your finances in some sort of way. All right. So you have the Lulu over here pissed off because this is also spy energy. You kept getting that. So they're not going to stop watching you. All right. If you have any mutual friends or connections, you know, the Lulu's going to find out about it. All right. And be utterly pissed off at the Emperor. All right. Because he's made himself an emperor over here. And the Lulu said, oh, hell no. But he is being very Ice King with her. All right. So he's made himself emperor over here. He was already an emperor. He's just no longer emperor in that structure. He's emperor for real, especially if he has that coming for real, physically. He's definitely emperor now, right? Drama Queen said, what the hell is this? And the emperor responded as the Ice King, if at all. All right? He said, what the hell is this? Here we go with this bullshit again. Deja vu. And he became the Ice King. All right? I don't know why y'all can't get away from that, but it is what it is. All right. This means moving on. It doesn't mean, some of you may be in an affair. I'm not judging. I'm not over here like, how dare you? You know, some things unfold the way they unfold. It just is what it is. All right. Not condoning, not judging. All right. Some of you may be in an affair, but most of it is mostly he moved on. Because he's in Ice King mode. He's in Ice King mode with Drama Queen. So it really isn't necessarily an affair. It's just he's moved on. And then he's like this with her. All right. As in the boundaries are clear and she can't get around it. She's like, what? She's trying to get around. He's like, oh, hell no, nope. We ain't doing this shit again. She did the deja vu. Here I am. He said, no, okay, no, nope. Nope. Because Emperor takes control. He is the authority. So in this situation with her, he took authority and control and communicated to, oh, hell no. All right. So this shadow work card, where shadow work is being avoided, it's not you rooted in rising, it's this. You all are doing the work. All right, you all are facing the hard stuff. It's hard. All right, y'all are doing the work. That's what it seems like. I did not expect that to come out, so I didn't even expect to go there once again. But Spirit seems to want to let you all know that. So we can see what else we got going on. Retirement goals. Oh yeah. Somebody's retirement goals. Y'all are working towards that. Y'all were in hustle mode. What else is the Rooted and Rising working on here? What's going on with the Rooted and Rising aside from this Drama Queen? Ooh. Deep fake. Convincing lies, altered truth, virtual deception. Seeing is no longer believing. Triggered emotional reactions, unresolved wounds, facing past hurts. Why does this bother me? So somebody's triggered. And this is a deep fake. Not who you really are or who they really said they were. I can see who that's talking about. I'll do one more card from this deck and we'll move on. We'll close it on out. I didn't really expect it to go this way, but it did. Oh, yeah. Y'all, I'm trying to get situationally single. All right, that's good, but y'all got breadcrumbing. Y'all are breadcrumbing this past. All right, they're triggered. All right. Seeing is no longer believing, but they pulled that deep fake on you. Convincing lies, altered truths. There's still this. There's nothing that's getting them away from being who they are. And they ultimately still have a hidden agenda. Secret intentions, manipulation disguised as kindness, hidden motivations, too helpful to trust. I don't believe those sugary sweet lies. Again, they showed you who they were, and people like that will convince you that it's everybody. Yeah, all of the things that it's like they try to convince you that all of the things that they are and that they've done to you, that's other people. It's not them, right? You know, it's everybody else, and it's not them. All right, that's their agenda towards you, but really that's theirs. Everything that has come out in multiple readings, it never speaks of any real love or really, I don't know, really any real feeling for you rooted in rising. It's very cold, very icy, and very, very manipulative. Very, I've got my own thing going on, and very, like to cause so much shit and so much turmoil, they're triggered by every goddamn thing. Like they're very emotionally sensitive themselves. Like you have to walk around on eggshells, but they are so destructive, and their every intention seems to be to cause more destruction. Oh, wow. I'm going to see what they're, wow, what are they triggered about? Ooh. Oh, no, have we used this deck before here? Let's do this one really quick. I'm going to see something. I gotta straighten this area out. This has just been kind of a plum mess here. Just a plum mess. Let's see what this one has to. Let's see what triggers them. Love vibes, Oracle. I'm reading around, and some of y'all might be over here, no strings attached. Oh yeah, that's what. Y'all have moved on. Even if the connection is still unfolding, I don't know. There's something going on where they realize that either they realize it now, there's something unfolding, or something has already unfolded. Oh, shit. Anyway, because aligned future, the connection feels solid because you're both facing the same direction. This is a partnership with purpose. That's what's triggering them. There's somebody that you are, well, whoever you moved on with that's in this secret affair card that they, that they're calling an affair, but it doesn't necessarily mean that. For some of you, you could be. But others, it really kind of just signifies that you've moved on because you're in Ice King mode over here. The Emperor has taken control of the situation and authority over the situation. They are taking control and authority in the household or the structure they built somewhere else. And they are Ice King with this deja vu popping back up again with this drama. But what's triggering this card here, what's triggering, what they're mad about, you see how she's staring at the phone? She sees something that's triggering because they haven't stopped monitoring your every move. All right? And since you're in Ice King mode, on this bottom card, you're breadcrumbing. You're not paying this energy any mind. All right? Because you are situationally single. So you're not having an affair. But, in their minds you are. Because you're not with them. You're having an affair. You're situationally single. All right? Which means temporary loneliness, choosing solitude, waiting for better. You're not settling for anyone anymore. All right? You know who you are. So you're like, I don't got to settle for this nonsense over here. But whatever it is, you've got, where did that card come from? Unspoken feelings. I would say whatever it is, you have got unspoken feelings for somebody else. Because I was looking at this card. I wasn't trying to say that. I was trying to say aligned future. Well, there you go. It's out there. But you've got... got multiple reads about opening up your mouth. Unspoken feelings. Wasn't going to pull that. You're not imagining the undercurrent. There's an emotional charge here that no one's fully naming yet. Although, this is maybe where it is. Apparently, this is where it's leading. And maybe even that. But, all in all, the triggeredness is that this is an aligned future. All right? And this triggered energy staring at the phone because they're being breadcrumbed over here knows it. Especially since your behavior, divine masculine or feminine, but these are both very masculine cards, is in authority. The Emperor doesn't only just take authority and control, all right? He is about order, about doing things right, about structure, all right? About systems being in place, all right? And he has done all that with somebody else. So he's about doing what's right, all right? And if he's over here, he's like, okay, I'm gonna ice king you here. So you can be triggered all you want staring at your phone. I don't care. Toxic talk. That's what's next in, oh, Jesus. Fine, what is this? Toxic talk. The way you're speaking to each other is causing harm, not healing. Words have energy, and right now they're wounding. Look, we're gonna set this deck down. It's exposing all of the stuff. Aligned futures, dude. Unspoken. Who is that bitch? You tell me. I'm just saying it's how women are. I've said that plenty of times. I'm just saying I have. I had a reason to real. I wasn't delusional, okay? I knew you were shaded. Only because the bitch kept calling me. Calling me, calling your phone, texting, calling and calling and texting, calling me. Hell. So I wasn't delusional, you know. I didn't necessarily have. Let me tell you about Virgo energy. We ask questions we already know the answer to. So I wasn't asking because I didn't know. I knew who she was. I knew her name. I knew all about the girl. I knew how she looked, everything. You just gonna lie to me in my face, huh? Yeah. Drama queen. So either this is happening right now, because it may still be unfolding. You still may not have resolved all of what is resolving, and it's a bunch of this. Because they believe you're having this. Even if you're not. Delulus, when they're delusional, it don't have to be real. They can just think. All they know is they have a feeling and a knowing that whatever you have is ending. All right? And something real, I guess we're doing unspoken feelings. Where is the other one? Aligned future is coming up. They know that. You can see that. All right? That's all they know. So you're going to get a bunch of... And this is not just arguing about who that bitch is or who he is in your phone. All right? It's just toxic talk, period. You're stupid. You're going to throw away all that we have. That's just dumb as hell. But again, you stupid as hell. I can't stand your ass. You just want to get over there to that bitch. You can't wait to run. Hell, if you talk to me like this, bitch, I would run too. Shit. You can't wait to run over there. Yes, I can't wait to hop, skip, jump, and cartwheel. Somersault over there. You talk to me like that. Hell yeah. So there's a lot of that. All right. Either that's what it used to be, or that's what you're dealing with now, or in all of this triggering with this secret affair they believe you're having, but you're not having, if all of this has ended, and over this, for sure, if that's really real for you, you know, even if it's just expecting, you know, Again, some big break. Oh. Let me see something. What else has got this energy over here triggered? And then we'll close it. I don't want the instructions. Let me see something. Let me see. That's what it is. Oh, Jesus. That's what it is. It's this deck. That's on top. I said, what's got them triggered? Get read it in Rising. Our teachers. Reckless. That's what got them triggered. Triggered. This deck. I was like, what got them triggered? Money moves. Remember, money moves. Smart decisions, strategic investments, building wealth, making my money work. Last time it was revealing about these money moves they were making against you. You're making money moves. Remember, you're in hustle mode. So this is not, again, this is expecting. Expecting is not all about literally this. It's this. For some. So it could be both, actually. You could be expecting. All right. And expecting. Or just this. Either way it goes, reckless is what drama queen wants to be with your money moves. Right? Just money moves. That's it. That's all it is. There is nothing ever that comes up that says anything about reconnecting for love. It always comes up that it's just money. There's nothing else. Reckless, uncontrolled spending habits, impulsive purchases, and making your financial journey harder than it has to be. There's nothing else. That's why they're pissed off. All right? They're pissed off about this secret affair that's not even an affair, just you moving on, period. Because there's a real aligned future with that person. They see and know that. That's why they're probably slandering the shit out of this person. Because they're like, oh, that's aligned. They match. They go together. That one's a real threat. All right. If she was a whore, it'd be different. All right. Then I ain't got to worry about that. You know, you give him a little cookie, then he'll come back over here to me. I'll be pissed off. I'll curse him out. But all in all, I don't lose, which is the only thing important to me, this. Now, would I appreciate him sleeping around? No. But more importantly, this. All right. But no, they're actually aligned. That means, all right, that means longevity. That's that 10 of Cups energy. That's what she's pissed off about. Ultimate happiness and joy and fulfillment. It means long-lasting. Long-lasting joy means this aligned future. Aligned future means not going anywhere. All right? But after unspoken feelings are revealed, I mean, that's still there. So reading the Rising, I can't tell you. I don't know how many times Spirit wants to bring that up. Okay? Oh, all right. Well, I really didn't want to go there. I wanted to do something else today, but apparently that's what we were doing. All in all, 3 of Swords led. There is heartache. There's pain, disappointment. I mean, a sense of mourning, a loss. All right. But the Death card speaks of transitioning to something better, something higher. All right. Even your personal growth. But since the Hierophant came out afterwards, you're transitioning away from that type of structure, which is some type of marital structure or formal connection, or a connection where maybe just children were involved, even if that's baby mama, baby daddy energy, and you all just said cut ties with each other. And ultimately after that is still ultimate fulfillment, ultimate joy. You know, being in a connection that fulfills you in every way, that's reciprocated, but more so then it brings you true abundant joy. All right, that is there. Spirit is once again warning you about this drama queen energy, because again, there's something you're expecting that you're waiting for. All right, either it's maybe results to finally cut ties, even though it looks like that ended. For some of you, again, this may be unfolding still. All right. Even if it's just you've moved on, this person needs money. All right. Situationship. You know, even if it's just that you moved on and this past person doesn't appreciate it, you know, doesn't accept you moving on, and there's still something they need you for, which most of these cards, again, means just money moves. So they still need you for that. Yep. Can't get nothing else but lies. Wow. All right. You're still being warned of that. And it seems still that Rooted and Rising is handling it very, there's nothing big. You're handling it big break. It just keeps saying money. I can't get nothing else but money moves. It's like they want to keep telling you for whatever reason. I don't know if y'all if it hasn't totally broken yet, or if you're thinking about reconciliation, or if there's something down the line you need, because sometimes it's a warning. It says warning you down the line, you better watch out. All right, because you may get that. You see how she's sitting here triggered, looking at her phone. You may get that text message. All right, that brings that deja vu moment because of shady dealings. That's what came out again. There's money, influence, and power changing hands in a way that isn't meant to be traced. It's still about money. They want to let you know it's about money, but the big break, either you've done this and they want you to break away from it. It means stay away from it. All right, a major moment is brewing. This could be the launch, the offer, or the shout out that changes everything. And it's also shady dealings is coming after what? This big break. Once again, the card says this could be the launch, the offer, or the shout out that changes everything. All right, but once again, for shady dealings, it's about money moves. There is no card that came out about that person. Divine masculine, divine feminine, that speaks of any sort of real emotional connection. You do have an emotional connection, but it's with the one they're saying you're having an affair with, even though this just means you're moving on. Again, and you're expecting something very big. You got a big break here. You got money moves. You have unspoken feelings. The past came with a lot of toxic talk and a lot of toxic talk and hidden agendas that doesn't want to do the shadow work because they won't leave you alone and go work on themselves. So they keep bothering you. You said, leave me alone. I'm single and I'm not settling. But there is someone, once again, back on the good part is that you have an aligned future with. That means it's divinely ordered and structured. All right. It's not a secret affair, but you've moved on. All right. Once again, this person wants to be reckless with your money. And that's it. They want to be reckless with it. So you have to take control because that's what the Emperor does. Doesn't mean this is a man. Emperor energy takes control, takes the lead. And Ice King says no. Clear boundaries. That means if I have to breadcrumb you, I'll breadcrumb you. But most important, if I have to just be triggered and trigger you, as in I'm not responding at all, I'll do that too. All right. All in all, it looks like this deep fake over here with the hidden agenda is not getting what they want, which is ultimately just your money. Yeah. Clout chaser. That's all they want. And if you're out in the public and you leave, there might be also something that comes with that. Just being seen and noticed, plus your money. Right? So you friend zone them. Breadcrumb them until you don't have to deal with them anymore, unless you still have to deal with them because of the kids. But it looks like, for the most part, you're not dealing with them. Divine energy, divine intervention, because this is an aligned connection. Now you just need to rest and recharge. That's likely what you're doing now. All right, rest and recharge. All right, and after... I can't help it, y'all. If y'all don't know, I get it from my grandma. You know, she got a dirty mind. You know, she had 8 kids, so. So you rest and recharge. All right. So that, oh, Jesus, these unspoken feelings can be spoken, all right? Recuperate, rest and recharge. So that you can get a little wand energy, a little cookie energy. Color. With your aligned future. All right. And for those that want it, can be expecting. All right. But you can't get your wine energy on there with unspoken feelings. All right. Recharge. That's the name of the game right now. Money moves. You're already making that. That's what you're doing because you were in hustle mode. Hustle mode. Because the big break is coming. That's what the money moves is about. Watch out one more time. Somebody wants to be reckless with your money. That's this toxic talk over here. Telling you how much of a fool you are for dreaming. Because they ain't got no dreams, but they want all your money. What sense that make? Because if they had something to do, they wouldn't be bothering you. And they wouldn't have been bothering with trying to take something they never had to take. Or gaslighting, or manipulating, or controlling you because they want to pull strings to get what they want. They can have what they want if they just go for it. Now, you're going to be an idiot and a fool for going after your dreams, for having actual goals and putting the work in, right? But they're shady dealings. They want your money, but you're the fool for having a dream. You got to make that make sense. So you ain't got to listen to nothing this energy says. You done learned the lesson. You're done. Move it on up. Keep up with that King of Swords energy and just move it on. Move it on because that big break is coming. I don't know what you're working on. But it's spectacular. It's great. It's wonderful. All right, that's where you're headed. Big break. All right, and you're staying away from shady dealings over here. You're keeping it very King of Swords. All right, shutting down all this toxic talk. All right, you're recuperating and resting by staying situationally single and never settling again, but mostly by recharging. All right, that's the energy you're in right now, is recharge. All right, so you can get a little wand energy going. maybe make one of those. Okay, all right. I'm gonna let it go. Okay, rooted and rising. Oh, I'm so happy for you all. All right, stay rooted, stay rising, and aligned with all the divine gifts ahead.